When we organize objects by moving, rotating, and scaling them, we will basically change the values of where those objects are in space. Now, there are many times when we'll want to have kind of a home or a default position for an object. And so for that, we can use what's called reset and freeze transformations. So here I have two objects in my scene. I have a TV set and a TV stand. And let's say I wanted to put that TV set on top of that TV stand. So I'm going to go ahead and move the stand kind of in towards the center of the room. And then I'm going to lift up this TV set and maybe position it so that it's on the TV stand. Now, by doing this, I've actually changed the values of its attributes for X, Y, and Z, and I've done the same for the TV stand. Now, if this is where I really want these objects to be, I can basically reset those to 0 by using what's called freeze transformations. So we have in our Modify panel a freeze transformations command. And when we do this, notice what happens in the channel box over here. All of the values go to 0. So translation and rotation go to 0, and scale goes to 1. So we have the same thing here. We have our TV sets, and so let's say we wanted this to be our default position. Well, then all we have to do is do Modify, Freeze Transformations. So now we've got these nice defaults and everything is at 0. So we know this is where these things are supposed to be. Now, if I were to move it and rotate it around and change it around, I can always get back to that default position just by highlighting all of these and typing in 0. And that brings it to 0. Now, another way to do this is to use what's called reset transformations. Now, this does basically the zeroing out and a little bit more. So if I do Modify Reset Transformations, again, it zeroes everything out, but it does one more thing. It moves the pivot of the object to the origin. Now, you may or may not want this to happen, but if you don't, then you can always do something like a center pivot to reset it. So if you want to lock down the positions of objects in the scene, you can use freeze transformations. And then reset transformations allows you to put an object back to its original location and also reset the pivot.